Hi, welcome to another episode of Thriving in 5D. I am Phoenix Duffy, and my co-host is,
Sarah Noah.
and we both wrote the book, The Grass is Always Greenest Under Our Own Feet. And we're going to be having a little discussion today about some of the concepts in the book, especially what's resonating today, which is Earth Day and what that means. It means a lot to different people, but we're going to talk about it maybe from the perspective of our book. And Sarah, do you want to do like a quick summary so people that maybe haven't read our book yet just know?
Yeah, it's a story with pictures, beautiful illustrations that show what it looks like to grow up in the new earth, which I could call Garden of Eden consciousness as well. And just that feeling of joy and harmony with nature. So, and then the children who are depicted in the book, they go on an adventure to an old paradigm, and they get to use their skills and everything they've learned growing up that makes them able to help this old paradigm town, which is facing some pretty heavy duty trauma, drama, despair, and devastation, degradation of the earth. And they're able to show by using tools that allow for people to be in harmony with nature, things can be healed and reversed and made better.
Yes, it's so great. Oh, were you going to say something else, Sarah?
Just that it's a kind of a perfect story for Earth Day, because in the book we talk about the new earth, and that's something that we want to hold sacred today on Earth Day. And Earth Day has been going on for a long time, and just because humans say, oh, now it's Earth Day, but every day is Earth Day, every day.
Yeah, and one of our mentors is Dr. Michael Beckwith, and he was speaking today about maybe we could all hold the earth, just kind of hold her, and for a moment, and just in reverence and in honor. And so I think that'd be awesome to do today if anyone has time for a moment while they're in the car, or is it at a red light or whatever. I mean, try it. It's interesting because I did it for a couple minutes and I felt different. I mean, I really did. I'm sure there's many other things people can do. But like in relation to our book, one of the things is the first page of the book, which is also on the front cover actually, but the first page without all the front title and all that kind of depicts, actually doesn't kind of, it does depict what perhaps paradise might look like, or the new earth, or the Garden of Eden, or and in this picture, we're just going to point out a couple things that are in here. Just even looking at the sign, and I know it's hard to see because there's a glare, which we consider angel light. It's just the lighting for the YouTube, but this 1111 contemplation way, which is kind of like meditating, and meditation represents, and then there's a tree and there's a yellow brick road kind of, but it leads to a beautiful wishing well in the back, like wishing on your dreams, but making your dreams a reality. There's plant medicine going on. We've got this wise woman. Plant medicine is going on here. We've got the characters serendipity and synchronicity are here and here. And if you notice, each of the characters' hearts are shining because they're living in unconditional love. And they also have their auras bright. You can see their aura, which is the different bodies, like the emotional body, the pattern body, the mental body. It's all lit up around the character. As you can see, if I just zero in there, and there's, a flying pig there, this pig that's just representing freedom. Its name is Freedom, and it's not being used for like food, like a meal or whatever. It's actually, an angelic being that has its own sovereign soul. And there's so much more to this picture. Sarah, did you want to elaborate on some things I might have missed?
Sure. There's one thing I love about the illustration that Carrie Burgo made for us was the totem animals, the power animals. There's a couple power animals featured in here. One of them's the hummingbird. Give a nice shout out to the hummingbird because that's a reminder to be playful, joyful. And I like to say something like vibrating at the speed of unconditional love. You know how the little hummingbirds just move their wings so quickly. But just in that place of being present. And I just love the statues. Oh yeah, there's a little frog. Yep, that's a great one. And there's statues of Kuan Yin and other divine, manifestations of sacred masculine, divine feminine.
I think Jesus
And
is in there and maybe Archangel Michael or something, right? Didn't we have that?
yeah, yes. So we're just very experiencing what it's like to be in a garden,
With
just
lots of
that feeling.
flowers.
Oh yeah, flowers. And we do talk about in the book how nature heals. And part of the healing elements of nature, it isn't just when we can go out and do forest bathing in a forest, it can be just smelling a flower or even just noticing a flower. Like today, it's, there's some beautiful spring flowers like daffodils and grape hyacinths, and I can notice them in the backyard and just be in that moment of, this is God's creation. This is, and every bit of it is here, not for me, but with me. Like nature has my back and I'm there. So I am grateful we could do this, record this on Earth Day and just have that moment of not being anything or not doing anything, but just experiencing this present moment, which is a gift.
Yeah. And of course, one of the gifts to, bringing about something you can do for Earth Day is managing your own emotions and being in a state where the vibration is higher than, sadness and grief, which is okay to have as long as we can move through it. But to actually, as humans, we have the ability to think, well, I'd like to change my energy or my mood. And so we'd like to read something from the book, right, Sarah? It's
Yes.
a part in the book where they're actually in this tunnel, which is between the old earth and the new earth, where they're going back to the old earth to, go on a mission. And so it's dark and kind of scary in there. And maybe you want to read what a couple things, and then we'll decide.
Yeah, I'll read a brief excerpt. My glasses are fogged up and I can't drive anymore, said Bonita. I know what to do. An intergalactic fire drill, exclaimed Synchronicity. What, huh? Said Hope. It's where you all get out of the car and switch seats. It's the rule of fun, said Serendipity. This doesn't seem fun. There's smoke. Look at the bats on the wall over there. And the dead canaries, said Daniel. You kids live in a bubble. This kind of thing happens all the time in Lost Valley. And from the picture, you can kind of see the depiction of it's dark and frightening. And Hope and Daniel are from the old paradigm, and their nervous systems and adrenal glands are just, their pineal gland, their amygdala, it's all just, they're in their reptilian brain. They're frazzled and frayed, and they need a break. They really do. And that's why they came to get their friends and family in New Earth to come help, because they knew they needed help. And that's the important message too, is asking for help. And then in that little excerpt, you can see that Daniel and Hope are frightened, and it's okay to go to your reptilian brain. This brain is here for a reason, but if the children are trying to show, let's see if if we can use all of our brain, maybe there's other solutions that we're missing, or we will miss if we just stay in fear and doubt and anger. So the children are trying to introduce something called the rule of fun. And that is a way to say, instead of saying it's the rule of thumb, which might have some antiquated, archaic, and possibly misogynistic and hurtful violence towards people, it's a way to say, hey, we're just gonna approach this with a different lens. And that lens could be let's have let's have fun. Let's see what we can do to get our bodies to, instead of being in the sympathetic nervous system, to let parasympathetic come in and see what happens.
Right. So it's like, instead of just going into the fearful moment, which it kind of was, and staying there and all heck breaking loose, the children's serendipity and synchronicity, they're from the new paradigm. And so they have solutions because they've been living it, where they don't have to go into that fight or freeze part. And so, yeah, and I think the interesting thing is the intergalactic fire drill is a take on, of course, the Chinese fire drill, which is a derogatory thing to a group of people, that, it's not really a high vibrational word, a phrase to be using anymore. So the intergalactic fire drill is where it's inclusive of all beings, not just even on Earth, maybe some intergalactic friends and things like that from other planets and universes, because they do exist. So, it was just a phrase that we had switched in the book to make that clear. And then also, the fun part is so instrumental to maintaining that vibration, that will also maintain the Earth's vibration of love, basically. So, and yeah, I think that's what we wanted to talk about today. Sarah, is there anything else before we wrap up?
Well, I just love this idea of fun and joy, and experiencing the joy. And I think taking those moments before there's a crisis for me, it's always often nature,